Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. It's time to do our day one patch review. And also just a heads up, there are free signature cards coming to Hearthstone today. You absolutely don't want to miss out on them. They look great. And well, it's just free stuff. Who doesn't want to miss out on free stuff, right? It's good free stuff. As well as we're going to go over, there was an arena update added to the patch notes. After I made my video yesterday, Blizzard has a brand new president and she might be a Hearthstone fan. We got lots of stuff to cover. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, if you like, ever earn your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like as we're on the road to 80,000 subscribers. So before we get into the patch and all that, I just want to give you guys a heads up that starting today, I'm looking in my client. I'm recording this in like the middle of the night because I'm an insomniac. It's like in 8 hours, so like 10 a.m. Pacific. This should go live, the Lunar New Year event, where there's a lot of really good stuff coming in there. 3 signature cards will be available for free, including Kobold Miner, the most popular card in Standard right now. Also, one of the best signatures ever, in my opinion. I just love the way it looks. Walking Mountain is another one, which doesn't see a lot of play, but the artwork's really sick. It's an epic. Why not, right? That's pretty good. As well as Howdyfin, another pretty cool card, another card that's not super good. But again, it's free stuff. And there's also, I think, a Battlegrounds portrait, Gallowing, and then a really nice Dragon Dance Celeste portrait. Looks like this. We'll preview it at some point probably. But again, it's really cool that some like the free portraits lately have just been some of the better ones, right? You love to see it, although it'll be more of a basic one. Probably no animated hero power entrance, but still, that is something you can get for free. And like I said, this event starts today and will be running until February 13th. So you have 2 weeks to complete the 4,500 point event. It's typically very easy to complete as long as you log in every day, complete these quests that pop up. You'll have it done within like a week usually. So just make sure to get in there, get those quests done, and unlock the stuff. So that's really good. We don't know what the quests are quite yet. It's usually like play a certain amount of games, play this a type of mini in a bunch, right? Like play excavate cards. It's usually pretty easy to complete. So be aware of that. 3 amazing signature cards coming. And before we get into the patch review, I just want to remind everybody, every patch to go into your collection, type in refund and disenchant all nerf cards. It's important to note that they basically added a bunch of cards that were in the last balance patch because they took them out too early. So they're in there for like 2 weeks. So you can disenchant those as well if you open some more or you didn't get to in the first place. And my advice, always disenchant any card that's been nerfed. You can always recraft it, and cards especially like Thaddeus are rotating soon and it's useless, so you might as well just disenchant it. So don't forget to do that. The big controversy with this patch, so far the data is too early to tell us what the meta's like, what's broken. We'll talk about who hit rank 1 with certain decks in a little bit, but I mentioned this on Twitter, that no nerfs to Sharpshooter and Sludge Warlock are pretty terrifying, as already 2 of the best performing decks on ladder and are losing their worst matchups. Hope the patch lets other strategies compete, but I'm pretty worried. Savid's quote tweeted this and kind of echoed it, and Baby Bear also tweeted this out showing the numbers. This is what I was talking about. They were the only tier 1 decks of HS replay at top 1000 legend. A little worried about the balance changes, not gonna lie. Warlock and DH are tier 1 in top 1000 legend, but both decks didn't get any nerfs. I hope the meta won't be just these 2 decks from now on. I looked at the stats for Sludge and I can't find any bad matchups. And overall, like I saw a lot of really weird, like over the top negativity from certain like pros and like even like pretty reputable like I guess content creators or people that write write-ups on the meta. I'm not gonna name names, I'm not gonna show stuff, but it was like really toxic. Like I want to put this out there. I said this on Twitter and I believe it to be true for, I want my followers and you guys to follow this as best as you can. I just feel this way. I saw a lot of vitriol towards the devs, which I think is ridiculous. Like I said in yesterday's video, I thought the patch was fine. I'm just a little bit worried about Warlock and DH not being hit, right? Everything else got, like Druid got murdered, Paladin got a pretty good adjustment, Rogue got hit pretty hard. That's what everybody was asking for. what's the problem, right? But yeah, it's a little bit worrying that they left some stuff out, but like, you put it out there respectfully, you know, I'm a little bit worried, we'll see how it develops, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it'll be fine. You never know, right? Like, other decks could pop up to counter things that couldn't counter before. You absolutely never know how the meta is going to develop. You can't say a balance patch is terrible before it's even live, which I saw, which is just don't do that. So I tweeted this out. Whether you agree or disagree with the balance change, please be respectful when talking about why. Tagging a dev with angry comments or saying a patch is terrible when it's not even a minute old makes it pretty hard for them to want to gain on the platform. And it's just a reality of the situation. And for the record, I think this was a tough patch to get together, considering how many things needed to get hit, and in particular with Demon Hunter, as my somebody showed, like DHOP being at the bottom. The optics of nerfing a class that looks like it's terrible is a pretty bad thing. As I showed, it's not. And Warlock's a pretty new deck, right? And it's like been good for 2 weeks. Do you want to nerf it right away? Probably not. So I said, just keep it respectful, and don't forget these are human beings that want Hearthstone to be as fun as possible. So I just throw that out there. If you guys are on Twitter or engaging in any way, just be respectful. You can say you don't like something, just don't be like, this is terrible, this is garbage. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't know. I just don't see the benefit of that, and it makes them not want to engage on Twitter. But Aleko, despite all this, was quite nice and gave him some insight on why we didn't get buffs, for example, because like Priest, Mage, Hunter not doing phenomenal. And I basically quote tweeted it, and he said, he was asked about it. Asked this question: so the Druid nerfs obviously affected Priest, even though the dual class cards weren't crazy in Priest. Is there going to be any talk of compensation buffs maybe in the future? So Aleko, who is like the head of the balance team, and again, I think he's doing a good job. Like, again, we'll see how Warlock and DH play out. I get why they left them alone. It's just like, I wish we'd play a bit safer. Regardless, he says, good question. There are always exceptions, but the general pattern for patches is new content equals nerf, only in the next balance patch. No new content, so probably when we get like the expansion announcement around then, equals a mix of nerfs and buffs. We released a mini set, so nerfs only this patch. Next patch, we can buff Priest if need be. So you're waiting for Priest buffs. Probably comes next balance patch, and I do expect probably to see one more before we have rotation, before the next set, unless the meta actually just works out really super duper well. We'll see, but just like some insight on where those buffs are coming. And what decks have been performing well? I saw a rank 1 post by Donkey. Apparently it's his first time hitting a rank 1 legend, so congratulations, Donkey. It's an amazing feeling. It's really freaking hard to do. He did it with the Forge Sludge Lock from Vicious Syndicate, 47 and 24. So yeah, Sludge Warlock does seem to be very good. It was already, again, like one of the best performing decks before, but Meaty, who's been very vocal, might be one of the people I'm referring to, with some negativity, did also say, love of the post-match meta, got #1 legend with a Naga Demon, or a Naga Priest, which I think we saw at Worlds, so that might be good. We'll see. And again, we'll have some deck recommendations tomorrow when I see some more data and see what's going on, and probably another one a couple weeks or a week later. Overall, it's way too early to say what the meta's doing. Like, HS replay numbers are not super reliable. We have more green already at the top for what it's worth. You look at Donkey.top, it's all Sludge Warlock really early on, so it might be a very toxic meta going forward. But again, the data samples are really small, and most people are going to go straight to this deck and play it a lot, so it's going to look a lot worse, and other stuff might pop up. Funny Paladin's still doing well, but Boogie down at 4 is almost like a pseudo buff for some instances, so it's an interesting one. Let me know how you guys have been finding the patch, but I did want to talk about a couple more things. There was an arena update. This was tweeted by Dreads. This was added to patch notes later. Basically a bunch of new stuff put in here. Basically, Forge of Wills and Transfer Student have been removed from the draft pool entirely. Transfer Student apparently was giving cards that could discover cards that would discover nothing because expansion rules, so they just took that out, and Forge of Wills is just broken. Butch Amalgamate, Mage Armor, and Krusty the Crustacean have been removed from the treasure pool. The appearance of all mini set cards have been increased. I mentioned that a while ago. They seem to be bugged, and not being offered very much. And we should be seeing mini set cards offered a lot more now. The appearance rate of Sludge on Wheels has been decreased. Basically, it's been increased on ladder lately. But yeah, this doesn't really affect me in Arena. I was never offered it to draft, I swear, like at all. But yeah, it was a really good Arena card. And the appearance rate of Kobold Miner and Burrow Buster have been decreased in Rogue and Warlock because those classes have been doing really well. They got a boost to get a little bit better, so they feel like they probably don't need it. So there is that Arena update. And lastly, I wanted to talk about Blizzard announced their brand new president, Joanna Ferries, I think it's her name. She was announced as a Blizzard president. There's some controversy because she started with like Activision, was like the general manager of Call of Duty, and it's like, we're not supposed to have Activision running Blizzard. But have you seen the Blizzard management the last like 5 to 10 years? I don't know if we really want the old guard in there. Regardless of that, it was kind of cool noted by Ben Hearthstone. Wait, she follows me. And then he noted she actually follows a lot of Hearthstone players like Bunny Hopper, Celestalon Kibler, Crip, myself, quite a few people. And she doesn't follow a lot of people on Twitter, period, which was, I was actually quite surprised. Like, she follows like 240 something and not many content creators. So she seems to be maybe a Hearthstone fan. So maybe the Blizzard president is, as a fan, will help push some more, you know, initiatives to Hearthstone. That is some full on copium, but I just thought it was cool, and congratulations to her for getting that position, and I hope it works out well. Like, it really can't be much worse than what we've had the last little while with like just Diablo 4, Overwatch 2, Diablo Immortal, Mercenaries, Warcraft, Rumble, like there's just a million things, right, that have gone wrong. It's so few good things have gone right lately, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the patch, all the updates, the new president, whatever. Tomorrow we'll have our deck recommendations for Standard Wild. I'll put some Fury crafted twist decks out there from Corbett for the common format, so you have an idea of maybe what you want to try. And yeah, check that all out. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.